Good evening, this is Nerdistic Human, and welcome to this, our time-lapse of the Alexander campaign. We've actually got India in here as well, so put your comments down below. Who's going to be our victor today? Good evening, this is Nerdistic Human, and this of course has been our Rome Total War Alexander time-lapse, where we've seen a very strange late victory for the people of Dahe, who quite frankly were one of the outsiders for victory here, but they managed to do it, and I'm not quite sure how. I mean, at the moment we're about halfway through the time-lapse, and this is a point where I was very close to finishing because very little was happening in this section of the time-lapse. A little bit of rebellion flipping around. Of course, we did have the great Empire of Anarchy over here in Turkey for a while. That was beautiful. But yeah, it looked like we were just left with Macedonia in their sort of crusader state of Hatra over here. I was just interested to see if they would manage to break out or if Persia would go on and smash them. But nothing really happened. There was a stalemate between them, and then Gandhi. No, then we had ourselves the people of Dahe pounce onwards. India, of course, did pretty well early on, took a few settlements, but really Persia managed to knock them back before too long. And really it looked like it was going to be Persia's game, but I don't know, a few too many problems with rebels, and in the end they just left the back door open and Dahe ripped them to shreds. It was truly a spectacular victory for those guys. Not really sure what I was expecting. Persia definitely have themselves a big old empire here, but it's not quite been enough today. Now, if you don't know, there are actually no upkeep or one upkeep on these barbarian units. I have changed that. The original version of this was slightly different. Dahe pretty much won in about 50, 60 turns, which is quite hilarious. But I realised they had basically 10,000 armies and they weren't paying anything for them. But that aside, I think they've done impressively well here. And I don't know, it's always nice to do a little bit of a play around and an experiment when you add in a faction like we have with India here. I've made a few changes to the map as well, just to let you know. Normally there's no pass up here. I've added a bridge and I've got rid of the thick forest which blocks this route, just to make sure that Macedonia would be more inclined to spread. They actually did invade down here in Egypt quite a few times. They pretty much got smashed by, well, they never actually managed to take either of these towns, I don't think. I think the rebels, or Persia, always managed to beat them back and take it for themselves. But yeah, they were able to head around the north as well. There's also a little crossing over here that I've added in. So along with the obvious additions to the bridges in India over here, I've made it a little bit more accessible. We don't have to literally only use the Persian gates here in the centre. Of course, the game is designed to work that way normally. But there we are, a resounding victory for the barbarians late on, right in the final quarter. A beautiful, beautiful victory. Will I do any more of these again? You know what, I probably will for these like this, where I've added in a new faction. We just want to see how it's going to turn out. I mean, India, to be fair to them, never really stood that much of a chance. They only had one region, albeit quite a rich one. I have littered it with resources, something more spread out than on the Creating India video, of course. But nonetheless, they never really had a huge amount. I did give them a good army. I gave them their army from the Battle of Hydaspes in the historical battles video, but there we are. Right, I will leave you for now. Maybe we'll see more of these in the future. Of course, a shout out to Melkor, who was the first one I saw doing these for Rome Total War, and he does have a little video. If you would like to do your own little time lapse, he does show how he makes them somewhere in the deep dark ether of YouTube. But I'll leave that for another day. So, I'm Thomas, this is Tenacious the Human, and this has been our time lapse of the Alexander campaign, including India. Thank you, and goodbye. They are just throwing themselves to their deaths. Woohoo! Chunky, chunky, chunky death. Oh, that wasn't a very good charge. Oh, we're flying! There is no one near beside him. Yeah, axe in the head! Axe in the head. Yeah, beautiful.